So I looked up the definition of betrayal, and it turns out that it's an even more sinister word than I thought. Betrayal means an act of deliberate disloyalty, to mislead and deceive, and to destroy trust by lying. Interestingly, it also means the action of betraying one's country, a group or a person. Treachery. As ordinary British people, I'm sure that we can, at the moment at least, all relate to the word betrayal, because we have been betrayed ever since the moment Tony Blair entered number 10 way back in 1997, and the betrayal hasn't stopped since. On the contrary, the level of betrayal has now been ramped up to an unbearable and utterly insane level for millions of Britons now at their wits' end with this whole goddamn shit show. You see, the truth is, we are now living in a sea of betrayal. The betrayal of our forefathers, our brave young men who gave their lives for us, our future and our freedoms. The betrayal of ordinary decent British families who voted to stop this nonsense time and time and time again, but whose votes were simply ignored. Betrayal of our children, their health, their safety, their welfare and their futures. The betrayal of our women, who are now scared to walk the streets of their own hometowns up and down the country. The betrayal of our faith and Christianity. The betrayal of our culture, our elderly and our health service. The betrayal of our sick and our veterans. The betrayal of a nation. And wherever you look, there is nothing left but goddamn betrayal, and we are now up to our eyes in it. And there can surely be no worse betrayal than that which is clearly evident to anyone even with one eye open. The betrayal of the media and indeed the police forces up and down the country, who appear to have taken a side, and it isn't ours. And for me, the most damning image that I've ever seen, ever, was taken last week when masked Muslim thugs marched through Whitechapel after threats of violence meant that Christians had to be moved elsewhere to guarantee their safety. In other words, the police banned the peaceful march so that the violent one could take place. Meanwhile, the image that I refer to is of a police officer standing outside the mosque guarding the entrance to it, whilst masked thugs, some carrying weapons, marched by completely untouched by the Metropolitan Police, completely ignored, allowed to do whatever they wanted. And if you doubt any single word that I've said, listen to this lady coming up now. I'm sure most of you will have already heard it. This woman on Talk Radio, Talk TV, just yesterday, I think she spoke for a nation.
Oh, I live in the borough right next to Hillingdon.
Yep.
And I moved into my house in 2019. My local shop, there's been 3 stabbings, 1 murder since then.
Wow.
My friend was murdered last year up on the high street. Girl I know was murdered in Southall Park. The government are failing us. I'm so scared for my children. I have a 22-year-old son, and I'm begging him to move out of the country.
Oh my goodness, I feel for you.
What are these politicians doing to us? They're putting our children in so much danger. They're putting everyone in danger, and they're not doing nothing to help us.
And that's the thing. A lot of us feel. How many is too many?
They're pushing us to do something that we don't want to do. We are peaceful people. British people never vote against their government.
Yeah.
They're going to push us to it because they're not listening to us. Our friends, our family are dying. I had a cousin murdered 20 years ago who was stabbed to death, and nothing has changed, Julia.
I'm so sorry, Sarah. I'm sure I speak for everyone listening and watching right now. My heart goes out to you, and that's the reality.
I don't leave the house without a man.
You're that worried.
Well, everyone I know is getting stabbed. They're getting raped in parks. This is where I live, not where the politicians live.
Do you think that's part of the issue, that they don't live in the real world?
Keir Starmer, if you're listening to this, please do something. I'm petrified. I've never broken the law in my life. I've been a law-abiding citizen. I've been a civil servant. Please do something. It's us that are dying on the streets. You talk about being racist. We're not racist. My sister's mixed race. I was a white child brought up in a mixed race family. Nothing to do with race.
Exactly.
It's to do with our safety.
There you go. But I'm afraid to say, for all her pearl clutching and sympathetic looks, people like Julia Hartley-Brewer have been part of the problem, not any part of its solution. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the total betrayal of the British people by the British people.